I'm Darcie Crowe, Senior Wealth Advisor at CG Wealth Management, and today we are going to discuss grey divorce and 5 financial considerations that must be taken into account if you find yourself in a later in life divorce. The good news is that overall we have seen divorce rates decline over recent years. The bad news, however, is that divorce rates are on the rise for those over the age of 50. If we look back 20 years ago, only about 10% of divorces were couples over the age of 50. Using stats from 2021, nearly 35% of divorces were being filed by people 55 and older, according to the US Census Bureau. The phrase grey divorce refers to this trend of increasing divorce rates in older adults, and particularly couples who have had long-lasting marriages. So why are we seeing an increase in grey divorce? There really are several reasons why we are seeing an increase in later in life divorce. Demographics, social changes, and the pandemic have all contributed to this trend of increased divorce rates. One reason is longevity. People are now living longer, which means they are facing potentially several decades of retirement together. If there are issues in a relationship, this can be a motivation to separate, given that there are many years ahead to enjoy. Living longer also means there are many more years to grow as people, develop hobbies and interests, but this also provides more opportunity for couples to grow apart. Another reason is a societal shift in the perception of divorce. There is less stigma today regarding divorce and living a single life than there was a decade ago. And lastly, women are more financially empowered and independent today, often giving them more flexibility to pursue divorce as an option if they are in an unhappy marriage. So regardless of the reason for the divorce, a later in life divorce is complicated and requires careful planning, as the financial implications can be profound. Decades of building wealth and raising a family together make it more challenging to divide assets in a mutually agreed upon and equitable manner. The nest egg that you have been building for years to support one household will now have to support 2 households. Retirement income is cut in half, pensions are divided, and retirement accounts may need to be split as well. For many couples, you may also be nearing retirement years or in retirement years, and therefore your ability to rebuild that wealth to plan for your post-divorce future can be more challenging. So given the profound financial impact of grey divorce, today we're going to highlight 5 considerations that you should be top of mind if you are working through a grey divorce. So number 1 is what to do with a family home. Throughout the divorce and settlement process, you will need to determine if one of the parties should keep the family home or if it makes sense to sell it. While there is often a very strong emotional attachment to the family home, perhaps where you raised your children, you will now be looking at a situation where just one person is responsible for the property taxes, maintenance and repairs, and overall expenses of the home. You may also have to come up with a way to buy out your spouse from their ownership of the home. It is incredibly important to take these factors into consideration to ensure that you can afford to keep the home and that will not put your financial in jeopardy down the road if the costs to maintain it on your own are higher than you can afford. Secondly is lifestyle changes. Now that your nest egg needs to provide for 2 households rather than 1, you need to be prepared for the possibility of a more modest lifestyle. It is very important to have a full understanding of assets and income and to prepare a detailed budget to understand exactly how much you can afford to spend each year. You want to ensure you include in your budget potential caregiving expenses in the future. While you may be healthy when you're going through divorce, as you're planning for your retirement years, you need to ensure that you factor in a buffer for increased caregiving costs in your later years. Next is taxes. Understanding tax implications is incredibly important, so be sure to consult with your accountant or financial advisor to ensure that you are making decisions best for you prior to finalizing any settlement. Registered assets, for example, that will be taxed need to be valued very differently than cash sitting in a bank account. So those tax implications are imperative to understand when determining your settlement. Next is insurance. Life insurance is often playing a key role in divorce settlement, especially if there is a financially dependent spouse. As spousal support terminates on the death of the payer, Life insurance may be used as a tool to guarantee a stream of income for future years if there were to be an untimely death of the payer. Disability and long-term care insurance are also considerations that should be addressed. Divorce is a major life transitional event, and you need to ensure that your future is protected. And lastly is financial implications specifically for women. Women face unique financial headwinds working through the divorce process. In many cases, women may earn less than men or have exited the workforce to raise a family and therefore start retirement years with a smaller amount saved and potentially lower pension benefits available to them. In addition, women live on average 5 years longer than men and therefore have additional years they need to be prepared to support. It is very important for women to proactively plan through these financial consequences of divorce to ensure they are positioned successfully for the future. Divorce is an emotionally and financially challenging time that requires many important decisions to be made that will impact the rest of your life. Seek trusted legal and financial support through this period to ensure you successfully navigate this significant life transitional event and ensure that you have a secured future ahead. Thank you for joining us today. Please like this video and subscribe, as it really helps us get this information into the hands that need it most. Thank you.